Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. This is Math Monkey 721 and today we're going to be talking about the derivative of sine x and we're going to be understanding and conceptualizing how to solve this. Now, the derivative of sine x is equal to cosine of x. But how can we prove that? If you watched my other video, you'd see the formula we used to find the derivative of something. There was two ways. It was the excruciatingly long way, and then there was the easy way. We're going to be using the excruciatingly long way because I'm a masochist, and also that's how you can better understand it. So, the formula was this. F prime of x is equal to the limit of h approaching 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. This was the formula. Now we're going to implement sine of x into this. So we're going to rewrite it like this. So let's put it up here, what we're solving for. So f of x is sine x. So we're going to be finding the derivative of this, which is cosine of x, and we're going to be using the formula to prove it. So the f prime of x is equal to the limit of h approaching, oh my gosh, that's the worst h I've ever seen. Approaching 0, and we're going to put sine x plus h minus sine x, because remember, this is the function, all over h. Wonderful. Looks easy so far, right? No. 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 It never is. So we see sine x plus h, and we're gonna, this is something that you have to memorize, okay? Sine a plus b is equal to sine a multiplied by cosine b plus cosine a multiplied by sine b. So you can remember it like Sina Cosby, like the guy who puts the stuff in women's drink. Kosa Sinba. Sinba, not Simba. So yeah, Cosby is a Sina. Cosby is a Sina. Kosa. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Just remember it any way you want. I don't care. Then we're gonna. You already know what we're gonna have to do, bro. Just rewrite this as this. We're gonna do it down here. So sine x multiplied by cosine h plus cosine x multiplied by sine h minus sine x all over h. Now we can rewrite this. Let's make it easier for ourselves and just move sine x to this side. And we just do cosine, yeah, let's just make it easier. So sine, actually I'm not even going to rewrite it, I'm gonna erase this and write it again. Yeah, just move sine, just make it easier for yourself, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. So sine x cosine h minus sine x plus cosine x multiplied by sine h. This looks much easier because we have these, because we're going to split it in the middle basically. We're just going to try and isolate these right here. Notice how I left out the plus sign? That's because we're trying to isolate this and this. He's a piercing. Anyway, what am I doing with my life? We're going to put this all over h as the limit h approaches 0. We're not done yet. That's a 6. A 0. Okay. So how can we make this even easier? we factor out the sine x. As you can see, sine x is right here and sine x is right here. This turns into a negative 1. So now let's rewrite it again. Yay. That's not big enough. Pause. Alright. Rewrite it one more time. So this, we factor it out. So factor out the sine x. So sine x outside the parenthesis of cosine of h, and remember, oh, I forgot to put the x. Damn, hold on. Yo! Sine x outside the parenthesis of cosine h. Now, we had sine x minus sine x here, but since we factor it out, it turns into a negative 1 plus the cosine x multiplied by sine h all over h. Now we can make this easier again by turning it into two different fractions separated by the plus sign. So let's do that, because this is basically what you want to see. So sine x in parentheses cosine of h minus 1 over h, and we're going to do the same thing over here. This looks like an n, I mean a h, but whatever. And then we're going to put the limit of h approaching 0. So we're finding the limit of this whole thing right here. Okay? So let's go a little bit down. We're finding the limit of that whole thing. So to make it even more easier, if you want, you can write this twice on both fractions, because we're finding the limit of both fractions now. So once we have two fractions, we have to find the limit of both. So let's find the limit of both. Okay? So since the limit is, let me write this in a different color. The limit is h approaching 0. And if this h approaching 0, sine x doesn't really get affected by it. So let's put it to the side and put it in front of the limit now. So we're going to put sine x, which is multiplied by the limit of h approaching 0 of cosine of h minus 1 over h. So this is what we're looking at right now. And then we put plus, and the same thing applies to the cosine of x, because h once again has nothing to do with the x variable in cos x. So we can put cosine x, and then we can put this multiplied by the limit of h approaching 0, and we just isolate these. So that's going to be of sine h over h. Now, this is going to be equal to 0, and this is going to be equal to 1. And the reason why is because, for example, in sine h over h, this is equal to 1, because when the h value is really small, sine of h is almost the same as h. And when we all know this, when you divide a number by itself, it gives you 1. And as for this one, why it's equal to 0 is because when h value is really small, cosine of h minus 1 becomes even more small, like even smaller than the h variable. And when you divide a number by an extremely, extremely tiny number, then it becomes 0. But this is just something that you just have to know. So I just tried to explain to you why, but you just have to know that that's what it does. So now, when you take, let me write it again over here. Let's go down a bit. Yeah. So when you take when you take all of this, you get it's equal. Let me write it in a different color. Yep, red and yellow, just like China, because I love China. The limit, or no, plug it in. So then we get sine x multiplied by 0 plus the cosine of x multiplied by 1. So we see that the sine of x multiplied by 0, because if this is equal to 0, then it's 0. And we have the cosine of x multiplied by 1, because this is equal to 1. And this gets us, because sine x multiplied by 0, anything multiplied by 0 is what we call a mathematical suicide. So this no longer exists. So it's 0 plus the cosine of x multiplied by 1. And anything multiplied by 1 is itself. So cosine of x. And when we add 0 plus anything, it's anything. So this is equal to cosine of x. Okay, that was a lot. I hope you guys understand the concept of how this works. You'll probably never have to do this specific problem, but this is just one of like the trigonometric functions that you just have to memorize and know. And something else that I want you to memorize and know is this right here. Because when you see something like this, then you'll know to plug this in and understand how it works. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed and learned something new, and I'll see you in the next video.